What is good, boys? We are finally here. It is time for the 2024 NFL Draft. That is happening later tonight, so hopefully you guys are excited. You see, I got my NFL Draft hat from the draft that happened down in Las Vegas just a couple years ago. I went to that draft. I bought this hat. I got my Vikings jersey on. Hopefully tonight we are coming home with a J.J. McCarthy or a Drake May, but today I wanted to predict the first round of the NFL Draft. We'll talk about what I think is going to happen. We'll talk about offense and defense, but we are going to focus primarily on those offensive skill players, especially for your Dynasty fantasy football teams. So without wasting any more time, why don't we just hop right into today's video and let's start talking about my first round. So as you guys can see, we got it pulled up on the screen right here. This is my first round prediction for how tonight's first round is going to go. You see right now, starting it off with the 101. It doesn't take a lot of prediction to figure out that the Chicago Bears are going to be drafting Caleb Williams. He is locked in at the 101 in my opinion at this point. So Chicago takes their quarterback of the future in Caleb Williams. And following that, despite some of the rumors, despite some of the negative press that Jaden Daniels is getting, I still think he is going to be the number 2 overall pick to the Washington Commanders. So he is going to land there in Washington. And yes, I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. I've been saying all offseason how much I want the Minnesota Vikings to trade up and get a Drake May in this year's draft class. Doesn't happen. New England stays put. Unfortunately, I feel like that is kind of the way that this has been trending. I feel like if a deal was going to be done, it probably would be done by this point. So Drake May, he goes number 3 to the New England Patriots. And that takes us to the 4th overall pick, where the Arizona Cardinals, they played their cards right. There was memes not too long ago at the end of the season where the general manager of the Arizona Cardinals was checking his phone on the sideline and people were saying, oh, they ruined their chances of getting Marvin Harrison Jr. and that's what he was so stressed about when he was on the sideline. Doesn't matter. They still get Marvin Harrison Jr., the wide receiver 1 for Kyler Murray for the foreseeable future, and definitely a guy who is going to be very, very good for your Dynasty fantasy football teams. And then here's where my Minnesota Vikings trade up. They move up with the Los Angeles Chargers. In this mock, I have them giving up the 11th pick overall in this year's draft. The Vikings also give up their 2025 first round pick. So there's 2 firsts in this deal, and then they also throw in a 2025 fifth round pick that they acquired from the Cleveland Browns. So 2 firsts and a 5th round pick to move up to number 5. They land J.J. McCarthy here. J.J. is the quarterback of the future for the Minnesota Vikings, and I will very quickly be buying a J.J. McCarthy jersey for my collection here. That is something that I would be doing. And then moving on to the 6th overall pick, you see it right there, Malik Neighbors. Probably not a landing spot that a lot of people want to see for fantasy football purposes, but it is no question that the New York Giants, they need a number 1 wide receiver. They get their wide receiver 1 of the future. He goes there to New York to play with Daniel Jones and be that alpha for them in New York. Now back-to-back picks here where no fantasy relevant players, but Joe Alt, offensive tackle, he goes to the Tennessee Titans. Dallas Turner, edge rusher, goes to the Atlanta Falcons. And then I have the Los Angeles Chargers trading up to number 9 with the Chicago Bears. Obviously, they traded back to 11 in that Minnesota Vikings trade that we just talked about, but I have them giving up the 11th overall pick that they acquired from Minnesota. They also give up a 2025 third round pick and the 2025 5th round pick that they acquired from Minnesota in that deal as well. So 3 picks total to go back up and get their wide receiver 1 of the future. Rome Odunze lands in Los Angeles, and this would be incredible for Rome Odunze's fantasy stock. I would love to see him playing with Justin Herbert. I think that would be fireworks. Very, very excited if that actually happens. And then at 10, the Jets address their offensive line. They get Fuaga. 11, the Bears get Byron Murphy, the 2nd. And then at 12, Denver sits there. They don't get the move up. You know, they just traded for Zach Wilson a couple days ago. They still are going to address that quarterback position. It might be a little bit of a reach, but they go get their quarterback of the future. They're gambling on the QB5 in this class, Bo Nix. That is the pick that I have them doing. Bo Nix, Zach Wilson, they're going to kind of battle it out in camp. We'll see what happens. My guess is if you spend a first round pick on Bo Nix, that is the guy who is most likely going to get the start going into the year. So Bo Nix, the next quarterback of the Denver Broncos, in my opinion. Then we go on a little bit of a run here. J.C. Latham, offensive tackle, goes to the Las Vegas Raiders. And then you get Olu Fashanu. He goes to the New Orleans Saints. Again, another offensive tackle. So a little bit of a tackle run there from 10 to 14. Then you have Brock Bowers going 15th overall to the Indianapolis Colts. There have been rumors about them possibly wanting to trade up and go get Brock Bowers. They don't have to do it in this mock draft here. He actually does fall to them, pairing him with Michael Pittman Jr., Josh Downs, Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, giving them a very good offense there in Indianapolis. And this would be a pretty solid landing spot for Brock Bowers for your fantasy football teams. Now, rounding out the first half of the 6th round, you get Laiatu Latu going to the Seattle Seahawks. He helps them on the edge over there. Now, working our way back up to the top, we got Terrion Arnold, the cornerback out of Alabama. He goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Troy Futanu, offensive tackle, going to the Bengals to help protect Joe Burrow. Jajon Newton, Watson, he goes to the Los Angeles Rams. He's going to fill in that Aaron Donald role, and obviously that is big shoes to fill. So he has a big task at hand here in Los Angeles. And then our next fantasy relevant player, I have Brian Thomas Jr. falling to 20. He goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, there is a need for a wide receiver 2 in this offense, potentially a wide receiver 1, depending on how you view George Pickens. Deontay Johnson obviously was traded this offseason. I think they're just going to replenish that wide receiver in the draft. They do it in the first round. They get Brian Thomas Jr. at 20. And then we have a long stretch here without fantasy relevant players. So you have Amarius Mims. He goes to the Dolphins. Quinyon Mitchell. He goes to the Eagles. Jared Verse going 23rd overall to the Minnesota Vikings, helping that pass rush. Jackson Powers Johnson being drafted 24th. He goes to the Dallas Cowboys. Cooper DeJean going to the Green Bay Packers. Chop Robinson to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nate Wiggins to the Arizona Cardinals. And then we have a big hitter here, Adonai Mitchell, 28th overall in the first round, going in to take over that wide receiver 1 job in Buffalo with Josh Allen there. This is going to be awesome for Adonai Mitchell's dynasty fantasy football value. He is going to be valued so high in your rookie drafts, and rightfully so. A guy that I currently have as my wide receiver 5 in my dynasty rookie rankings. And this is an S tier, one of the best landing spots that you can possibly have. So love this landing spot for Adonai Mitchell. Very minimal target competition going into the year. Curtis Samuel, Dalton Kincaid. Obviously, we like Dalton Kincaid, but there is no doubt that Adonai Mitchell would be a very heavily targeted rookie wide receiver here in his first year. Then you have Kool-Aid McKinstry. He goes to the Detroit Lions. Tyler Guyton going to help that offensive line in Baltimore. Graham Barton helping on that offensive line in San Francisco. And last but not least, Xavier Worthy. He goes to the Kansas City Chiefs in the last pick of the first round. The Chiefs get another wide receiver they can add to this room. This is a guy that some people think that they're going to have to trade up to get. I don't have them trading up to go get him in this draft. So you guys see it right there. This is my prediction for the first round of the 2024 NFL Draft, and I wanted to get it to you guys quickly, just something fun, just to get you guys excited for what you think is going to happen tonight. Let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think is going to happen in the first round? Give me some bold predictions in the comment section. Excited to see those from you guys. And if you are not doing anything tonight, maybe even if you have some plans, cancel those plans. Come hang out with me and the BDGE boys over on the BDGE Dynasty channel. I've made a community post about it on our channel, so there is a link to that live stream. We'll be starting at 6 p.m. Eastern time, going through the entirety of the first round of the NFL Draft. So make sure you guys come hang out with us tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll all probably be some family after this because it's about to get pretty crazy. There's some crazy things that are planned for this stream. So if you guys did like the video, go ahead and hit the like button. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed. And last but not least, make sure you are a member of our Discord. We do have a Discord linked in the description. It is free to join. I'm going to be pulling people from there right after the NFL Draft so we can do some rookie mocks on our episode of Let's Talk Dynasty this week. We stream those on Sunday nights. So rookie mocks on Sunday nights straight from the Discord. Hopefully you're in there to join us. But with all of that out of the way, I will see you guys on our next episode. Skol, baby. Let's get some Mayor McCarthy. I'll see you next time. Peace out.